deal with the week. Now it's time for us to talk about waste management. And in order to do so, and assist Sandra and myself, we have Mr. Samuel Bodo, who's from the AMA Waste Management. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
Quite fine. And you?
Thank you for joining us.
Right.
We were just speaking to a doctor about elephantiasis, which is transmitted by mosquitoes. We've had various malaria awareness drives. We have issues with drainage, sanitation, basic waste management within our country at the moment is, in a word, deplorable. Where is it that we're going, or what is it that yourself and the AMA are doing in order to curb this menace that we have?
Yeah, thank you very much. For every human activity, some waste is generated. If you breathe, bring out waste. You eat food, there is waste. You drink water, there is waste. And even shelter, clothing, all waste is generated. And over the years, we've tried to manage this waste. And managing waste is about collecting it, transporting it, using vehicles, treating it if necessary, and then finally disposing of it. And I think for AMA, this has been ongoing over the years.
Mr. Bodo, what constitutes the bulk of the waste in this country?
Well, looking at the composition of waste, I think it is organic waste. That is the bulk of it, and followed by the plastics, which is about 6%. Organic waste is 65%. Plastic is about 6%. And then we have paper, we have the metal waste, we have textile waste, rags, we have glass, and the innate, sand and others, all from the forms of the categories of waste that we generate in Ghana.
So what can we as individuals in our own little ways in our homes do to curb some of these waste in society?
Yes, for individuals. Individuals have to generate waste from human activity, whatever you do. Then after generating waste by our solid and liquid waste by law, you have to make that waste available to the assembly to manage. That is, after generating, you handle it at your individual, family, or community level. Then you store it in a bin or any other receptacle that is appropriate and have a tight fitting cover. And then yours is to just give it to the assembly to manage by way of collecting it, transporting it, treating it, and finally disposing of it.
And is the assembly doing a good job of collecting, transporting, and
managing? Yeah, I would say for AMA, we are doing our best to manage waste in Accra, because Accra, we generating close to 2,500 tons of solid waste per day, and we are able to collect averagely 2,200 tons. So basically, we are in the range of 80% performance, and for that matter, I think the performance is satisfactory.
Okay, so let's take it away from our homes and go to the streets and certain areas of the city, where we can see the waste all around, the rubbish and dirt and everything all around us. So who's responsible for collecting or managing this waste?
Yes, that is the biggest challenge we have. In fact, for the streets, for the drains, we have a lot of felts of waste that is entering them. And I'll say basically it's because of public negative attitude. Because every waste has its facility, you know. For instance, if you talk about drains are meant for wastewater. But we end up putting solids into them, which is a foreign material. Because the waste will end up choking it, because solid waste is solid, so to end up choking it. So drains are meant for wastewater and not solids. Then we have, for instance, fecal matter. You have to go to the toilet. But if you end up, packaging it and then putting it somewhere or defecating in somebody's backyard, then that is a nuisance. And it becomes very difficult to manage, because solid waste is supposed to be in a bin. And then you can just pack it with your vehicle and go. But when it gets into the drain, then it becomes a problem. You have to then change your strategy by engaging other people at a higher cost to remove it before you can then transport it.
Mr. Bodo,
and that is the biggest challenge we have.
These are issues and challenges that we've been facing for years. every year we have the rainy season, these drains, sewers flood, people die. AMA comes and says, we're doing something, we're going to seal the covers, we've got this investment, we're going to deal with the sewer system, but we're in the same situation years along the line. What encouragement, what improvement are we to see from yourselves to show us that there will actually be a stop in these avoidable deaths?
Yes, it's true. AMA, we've been aware of these challenges over the years, as we mentioned. So there are plans to actually improve drains in Accra by covering them with slabs so that solids may not be able to enter it. Then we also want to bring on board enough, vehicles, equipment to augment for the existing ones that our private companies are using, to improve, to ensure effective waste collection in Accra. And then also we want to also bring on board, using the waste for something else, like recycling, recycling the waste. A lot of investors are coming in now to help the AMA improve. You have heard about the Conti project, and then we have the Ghana Turkey, Corporation. They are all bringing in various types of equipment for improvement of waste in Accra in the coming year.
All right. So sorry, go ahead.
What about recycling? What is AMA doing about recycling?
Yes, for recycling, I think the AMA has been involved in, into, recycling plastics, turning the plastic into raw material, usable material. And then we have the organic waste. Zoomlion has constructed a compost plant at Ajay Kotoku, where organic waste is being recycled or processed into manure or fertilizer for use as agriculture. And then we have the metal waste. It's a hot cake, people go around and people are now separating scrap metal as source, because there's value on it. Because for every waste, if there is value on it, then people want to separate it at their own because there's value, you go away it and you take some coin. So that is that we are involved in a way of encouraging, motivating the private sector to complement the effort of the AMA.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Fedo. That's all the time we have today. So you've heard it. We can all help in our own small ways in our homes by managing waste properly.